Hi, it's Edward, back with another video. Please take a moment to click the thumbs up button below and consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your support. Today, I read an article on yahoo.com written by Ananya Vahal titled, "I used to sleep in my car so I could get to my $9.50 an hour UPS shifts on time. Now I'm making almost $100,000 a year at the company without a college degree." This article was put out by Business Insider. I'll include a link to the article in the description below. I encourage you to read the full article to support the author and news source. As a private American citizen, I'd like to report and share my transformative thoughts through commentary regarding small sections of this article that are of public interest. According to this article, a 39-year-old UPS delivery driver from Arizona started working at UPS in 2002, fresh out of high school. He was 18 years of age. He started college because he wanted to become a teacher or a coach. He started working for UPS while he was pursuing his college education. According to the article, I'd go straight to class from work and shower at my friend's dorm on campus to save time. A few months in, I learned that my girlfriend, now wife, was pregnant. The increased family demands made my job even harder. My performance began to decline, and I was showing up late to work. I began sleeping in my car at work so I wouldn't be late. Eventually, I dropped out of school. In my opinion, this individual dropping out of college may have been the best decision he ever made. He may have never earned a $100,000 per year salary as a teacher. When I graduated from college with a master's degree, my first year teaching salary was $29,000. I couldn't believe how small my paychecks were every 2 weeks. I took the job teaching public school so that I could pay for my Ph.D. program, which I pursued at night. I struggled to be able to pay for my university tuition and my cost of living. I taught public school for 5 years until I finished my Ph.D. After teaching for 5 years, my ending salary was $32,000. Can you believe my salary only increased by $3,000 over a 5-year period of time? According to this story, after 3 years at UPS, this individual's pay went from $9.50 per hour to $30 per hour. If this individual was working 40 hours a week, 52 weeks out of the year, and didn't have any overtime, he would be earning $62,400 at his 3rd year on the job. This article goes on to indicate if you add up all our benefits and salary, we get close to $170,000 a year, but you won't see that on my paycheck. When people apply to become a UPS delivery driver, they may be disappointed because it takes years of hard work to make anywhere close to that amount. In my opinion, the time and effort could potentially pay off for individuals who are dedicated and are okay with working hard. There are a lot of jobs that do not have this type of upward mobility. There are a lot of dead-end jobs where salary increases are very modest. Unfortunately, there are some companies that don't take care of their workers. Some companies simply don't care. It's just human capital. If they quit, they can find someone to replace them with. There are a lot of companies that have a revolving door of employees that come and go. A lot of companies try to get employees as cheap as they can. They fully understand that people are going to quit, and they have no problem with hiring someone to replace them. A friend of mine is an accountant and does taxes for an individual who owns a lot of gas stations. This gas station owner told my accountant that the turnover of staff at the gas stations is 70% a year. Can you imagine running a business where you have a 70% turnover rate every year? Think about the turnover rate at your average fast food restaurant. Think about the turnover rate at some of the big box stores. Think of the turnover rate at a lot of car dealerships. I sold cars while I was in graduate school for a while, and a lot of salespeople came and went. I could not believe the turnover that happened at that dealership. Some companies do not provide a livable wage to their employees. Some companies don't provide a competitive benefit package. Some companies don't provide a lot of upward mobility. Because of this, a lot of these individuals jump ship and look for other employment. The individual referenced in this article today is fortunate that he is part of the union. The union can negotiate for his pay and benefits along with his working conditions. There's something to be said for unions. Unions can protect workers' rights. When I was a public school teacher, I was part of the teachers' union. I had to pay a few $100s per year in order to be part of the union. I never got into any trouble where I needed union representation, but a colleague of mine did get into trouble once. The union rep accompanied him to the principal's office. When he entered the principal's office with the union rep, the principal told the union rep, "I don't have an extra seat for you, so unfortunately you're not going to be able to be part of this meeting today." And the union rep said, "No problem, I'll just scoot this stuff on your desk over and I will plop my butt right here on the desk." And that's exactly what he did. He was going to make sure that he provided that teacher with good union representation during that meeting. I often wonder what would have happened to that teacher had he not had union representation. I wonder if he would have been out of a job. Unfortunately, the union was not that successful when it came to collective bargaining with regard to our annual salaries. The salary schedule for teachers at that time was quite dismal. I kept my cost of living quite low, but I struggled to be able to afford rent, food, car insurance, fuel, and my tuition that I was paying to the university when pursuing my Ph.D. in the evening. I often wondered how some of these other teachers were able to afford a family. Some of these other teachers that I worked with had a spouse and multiple children. To this day, I don't know how they were able to do it on such a meager salary. I remember vividly sitting in the teacher's lounge at lunchtime and hearing stories about how some of these teachers were struggling financially and living paycheck to paycheck. During that era, we were lucky to see a $500 or $600 per year salary increase. Keep in mind, all of the teachers had at least a bachelor's degree, and in some cases, teachers had a master's degree or even an EDS degree. I think the individual in this story today is truly blessed to be able to have a job that is paying $100,000 per year with no college education. He is also fortunate to have union protection and great benefits provided by UPS. I understand working for UPS is a physically demanding job. I am sure this individual has some very hard days. I can tell you as a public school teacher, I also had some very hard days. There were a lot of days that I would come home at 4 o'clock in the afternoon and collapse on the sofa. I would take a power nap before eating dinner and going to night class at the university from 6:30 to 9:10 p.m. When you have a high school classroom full of 20, 25, or 30 students who are all very energetic, this can be very demanding on the teacher. You have to keep your eyes and ears open at all times to make sure that those students are doing what they are supposed to be doing. I can tell you with certainty that some of the teachers who I used to work with 24 years ago at the high school are still not earning over $100,000 per year. And in some cases, they have advanced degrees. They do get summers off, and they do get a lot of time off over the holidays, and they do receive a pension from the state, but they still struggle between paycheck cycles. The individual referenced in the article today who works for UPS is receiving a larger paycheck than many of these public school teachers are. UPS provides a very important service to everyday people. UPS needs to make sure that they can retain employees that are going to do their job well so that they can maintain a high standard. I am sure the union is one reason why UPS workers have the wages and benefits that they do have today. What do you think about all this? Are you surprised that this UPS worker is earning $100,000 per year without a college education? Are you surprised that the complete compensation package for some UPS employees is around $170,000 per year? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, consider giving it a thumbs up. If you haven't yet subscribed, please consider doing so. I want to extend a special thanks to all of the individuals who have subscribed to this channel. I also want to thank all of my channel members. Stay healthy and wealthy. I'll see everyone in the next video.